With a hard-fought well-earned victory, FaZe Clan managed to win Cologne, making them the #1 rated team right now. With Inferno being a very dangerous map for opponents to play against them, Rain is the current highest rated player on the CTB Inferno and just 3rd on the map. Hey, I'm Smirky and today I want to look at Rain and how he defaults B on the CT side of Inferno, so let's begin. Let's start with the critical part of B. FaZe has a lot of different takes you can use to gain banana control. I'm not going to show you all of them as I would be here forever, but I will show you the common takes and the ones I liked. I'll also show the utility involved with each take. Starting with gun rounds for 2 players, FaZe love to use this take to test the waters of banana and decide if they want to take it after the HEs or fall back if it's too much. When they do these takes, half the time they will throw a Molotov or a flash. These mollies and HEs aren't necessary, but will be useful if you want to take banana later. With this, they'll combine this with 2 HEs that they might either throw towards the bottom of banana, in the corner, or maybe in the logs. It can vary. But after this, they can decide if they want to fall back towards the B bomb site if it's a bit too much, or they can ingress towards banana if they feel like they can take it. In round 19, FaZe will use it against Na'Vi. They will start with a close molly from Rain and 2 deep HEs, targeting people who are spotting or supporting. But the util from the T side will be too much and they will fall off. This may seem like a waste, but look closer. FaZe got Na'Vi to waste 7 pieces of utility, where FaZe may use 3 to 4 while keeping their smokes, whereas Na'Vi use a lot of smokes and mollies to make sure Rain and Karrigan aren't still lurking around car. Again against Na'Vi, they will use the exact same take and will have similar results. They will throw a molly and 2 HEs and end up putting Electronic to 15 HP. And in this round particularly, it was a good idea they fell off preemptively as they avoided Na'Vi's fast banana control. Now, I doubt a lot of you want to fall back to the bomb site and want to push forward. Let me show you some scenarios when they pushed out afterwards. By waiting then later doing their take, it can exhaust the T side opening utility and they might not even be prepped for this attack. They will always molly towards close and a smoke towards the deep. This prevents the T's from hiding behind half wall, pushing them back. And Karrigan's going to combine this with a Molotov towards Broom. And this should force the T's out into the open, where if Rain had view, he can spray them down. And Karrigan will also combine this with a flashbang that should hurt the vision of these players trying to run away. In round 28, after throwing the util and waiting car, Rain is going to throw a close molly, which should prevent Na'Vi from pushing without a smoke. With Karrigan beside him, he will smoke deep, molly Broom, and flash at anyone trying to get out. Once the molly from Karrigan lands, Rain will peek to potentially catch anyone running, but will die to a flash play from Electronic while only getting 1. You can't win them all. Against Astralis, Karrigan was waiting towards yellow with Rain on sandbags, ready for a push. If the T's put out the molly, Karrigan will do this nasty nade, damaging anyone close, and then they would likely peek together. But when FaZe felt ready, they pretty much did the exact same take to the previous clip, except they will throw a flash and HE logs. And with this, Rain will throw his own flash to peek off it. Unfortunately, due to the smoke from Astralis blocking the vision from logs and Broom, it would be suicide to try and push through it with nothing left. So FaZe will just feel satisfied with delaying them for this long and will hold on to car, while Karrigan rotates A, fearing Astralis might react off their take. Another execute I saw they used a fair bit was this low util one. If you don't have that much util, or perhaps you don't want to use too much, you can use this execute to try and gain banana control or just prolong it. And with these takes, they will commonly have a smoke towards deep banana, combined with a Broom molly. This should really force them out into the open, where they're forced to go towards logs that is ready for them to get HE'd. Rain will arrive first, throwing a molly towards Broom, then quickly taking cover behind the wall. He does this to avoid any common flashes from T-spawn, or the ones from half wall. Meanwhile, Karrigan will smoke deep banana using this nice lineup, and Karrigan's deep banana smoke can be really good for AWPers when moving between the different sites. But later, he would head over to Rain and throw the half wall flash. If you notice, neither of the players didn't bother to molly close, because A, they didn't have one, but B, it's common for T to throw one, so they could use their single molly for a different reason. However, once they got a good grip on car control, Karagan will try to rotate, and Rain will get some info and nades Glare for 20 HP, making him vulnerable to headshots from the rifles. But Rain will fall off afterwards. Let's move on to the 3-man takes. FaZe will do these type of takes to switch up their defense and throw Spanner into the works. Let's start with this molly take. They will typically begin these takes with a lot of flashbangs and a Molotov. They will throw 3 Molotovs, 2 towards banana and 1 towards mid, reducing the space for the T side, and the flashes will land above car, giving support to the player pushing. And with this, the T's are forced out into the open towards logs, where Rain could potentially get the kill. And you can see the rest of the B players are going to bombard logs with HEs. This take is a really powerful switch up, focusing on aggressive util towards the back of banana, where most T players play. Brokey's going to be our first supporting element. Brokey's going to come towards CT, think about doing this flashbang, but we'll do this one instead. And once he throws the flashbang, he'll head over towards car and HE logs. Karagan will act as another supporting element by banking this flash off the wall, mauling banana, nading logs, then smoking deep once the molly goes. Lastly for Rain, while running down he's going to molly broom, HE logs and peek. And as he tries to run down, he will just get blinded by Simple's flash. So he'll tuck himself into this corner and wait to be unblind. And once he has vision, the mollies are gone, the smokers came in, and he can take banana. And with the molly from Twist on A, it makes it hard to contest the take. This can also be mastered with a mid push, with slightly different util used by Twist, where he will swap with Karagan. Twist is going to force his way down banana, serving as a distraction while Karagan sprays Simple in the back. This take goes really well, allowing FaZe to go 2 to 3 in deaths while taking a lot of map control and quickly limiting the options from Na'Vi. Astralis saw a similar phase and decided to reverse into ramp, allowing Rain to take full banana control after the molly take, and even get support from Rops with his smoke from A. In my opinion, as a banana player, your bomb site is the most common site to rush on an eco. So how does Rain and Core play their anti-ecos? Well, the HEs are used to hurt the stragglers in the back and were ready to fight close to the smoke. Well, they started off by having the first person throw a Molotov, which can pretty much be turned into a wall if one of the T players decide to smoke it out. Meanwhile, the players towards the back will get HE'd. And if they can defend against the push, they may molly towards banana like this to push them away, or if they get overwhelmed, they might molly around car. Rain will be the first guy and starts with a standard molly, a deep smoke, and a HE that bounces off the wall to hurt players running up. After the util, he will play close to the enemy smoke. Karagan will be the second guy and will throw a HE onto the middle of banana that slows down SDY, while also throwing a supportive flashbang. And this is all done while he uses the cover of the wall to block the T-spawn flashes and will peek afterwards. Once the util is thrown, Rain plays close to the enemy's smoke to hide while he's blind, block players as they try to run up, and just make it a bit more difficult to deal with. And I tested this on a server, and only really the top 5 spawns can contest the HEs. FaZe will use something similar against Astralis, but instead throw 2 HEs that directly land on Glaive, stopping him from being able to flash his teammates. Astralis will put out the molly, and again, Rain will use it as a wall to kill them as they come through. Meanwhile, Karagan will molly close, while still using the wall as cover, then swings out. In this round it proved pretty effective, but as an idea, instead of both nading deep, one of you can bounce the nade off the wall like this to slow down the first guys rushing you. Just a thought. But when playing an AntiEco, it's a good idea to have 3 people B. So in round 23, Twist will come over and Karagan will go coffins with a flash ready for contact. They will try to molly close banana, double HE deep, which could wreck the pacing of the enemy, and they will combine this with more missed util. and has another idea. You could get Karrigan to flash early from CT and later help the guy's car, just so you can blind the early push. And if you couldn't get enough on banana control from me, there's a vid on Nart's channel about the different takes teams are using to take banana. You should check it out. Now, what should you do if you do have banana control? Let me show you some of the ideas FaZe used to hold on to it. In this round we can see Karrigan deep towards Broom, and Rain's going to play in front of half wall. When Na'Vi swings out, you'll see Karrigan take the first initial contact, and when they try to go for the trades, Rain will peek out afterwards. Instead, you can get Karrigan towards logs and Rain on top of half wall this time. Playing right on top of half wall can be a weird angle for some enemies, but in this round it doesn't go too well once he gets flashed off the angle. Of course, we have the classic of just jump peeking car, where you can collect small bits of information, but if you notice Karrigan's towards coffins, so when Naughty's Fencia wants to take car control, Karrigan can do a flash to support Rain with his MP9. And in this round he almost does a lot of damage. If you want to play a bit safe, you can do something like this, where you just jiggle beat the corner with a smoke, but in a second they're going to transition to this setup, where Brokey holds the angle, and Rain will be towards sandbags, playing anti-flash. And this can be pretty effective. As soon as Brokey gets the kill, they may try to swing out to punish the upper, where Rain can get 1 or 2. Now, another key part of FaZe's B control is their car retakes. They will throw this in if they either want to mess with their opponents and try and hold on to car control, or actually just retake it. The most common set of util is this one right here, where Rain will stand towards this mark, and by standing towards this position, he can throw this HE, which will do nice damage onto Simple. He can smoke off banana, and he can also molly car and force anyone out into the open. And you can see when he throws the molly, he's going to peek out with it, just in case if anyone was forced out into the open. And you can see from Simple's POV, he's going to eat a fat HE, the smoke comes in, and he has to wait for the util to go. In this round we're going to see something similar. Rain will use the same lineup and throw the set of util. And by throwing both sets of util, Astralis now has to wait around the 1 minute mark until they can clear car, which maybe FaZe can be a bit proactive around car, around B, or maybe A. Now I really like this round, and it's just all about wasting time. In this round, Rain's going to molly car using this lineup, and he will later head over towards coffins and use his flash. By throwing the flash after the Molotov, the T's have to wait for the Molotov to go before pushing, and when they try to go for a peek, they might just get blind, meaning they might have to waste more time. It's all about the time on B. Now lastly, we have the classic. With Rain's previous util, you could combine this with a car take. However, in this round, Twist is just going to do a simple flash play, Rain's going to peek out, and he will get 1. Unfortunately, his teammate will die. Twist will try to help, however he just over peeks and also dies. So Rain is forced to use his smoke to try and hold on. Now lastly, we should probably look at one of the most important things on the B bomb site, positioning. I'll first start off with quad. I would say quad is Rain's favourite second position to play on the bomb site. In this round, he's going to come over towards quad and play an angle like this. By playing the angle like this, the wall right here should be able to prevent some of the flashbangs from coming in. However, there is a bit of a gap towards the right. If Astralis was to execute onto the B bomb site, Rain should be good for a kill, and then can fall back into quad. From here he can get a teammate to flash above him, or maybe play some off angles to try and catch players, clearing the site. Another angle you can play is like this Ben tent one right here. By playing close to the angle like this, not a lot of his head is showing right now, making it difficult for Na'Vi to get the entry. However, you are very vulnerable to flashes, but it is good against contact players. Now let's have a look at a bit of setups. In round 28, FaZe used a setup where Rain was playing towards the top of quad, and Karrigan was playing towards second. You can see in the right, Karrigan's going to line up with Molotov, just in case they executed, he can use this nifty lineup. And if they did execute, Rain will get the first kill, he can drop down, and Karrigan should be able to get the next player, trying to trade his teammate. And in this round, it will get used. Karrigan will throw his Molotov, and Na'Vi will be forced to push through a smoke. From here, Rain will get the first kill and drop down. Meanwhile, Karrigan will try to support Rain by putting out the Molotov the T's threw at him. After that, Rain will just try to find gaps in the smoke and just fight it out and try and delay from quad. And they do a pretty good job by going 3-2 in favour of FaZe. Now another setup you could play is something like this, where Broky's towards quad and you're playing towards the pillar. I'll go in more in depth later about this pillar, however it can be annoying for the T's, as if Broky were to get the first kill, again they would try to trade him and they may not expect Rain to be in this position. And if you wanted to, you could also have just riflers playing this setup. Now if you're playing towards quad, this smoke is really useful. Rain can smoke off the chalk by lining quad with the yellow boxes, aiming around here and jump throwing. And this smoke will block off the choke point, making it difficult for Na'Vi to get a peek into the bomb site and allowing Rain to cross the CT. And this is a smoke you should definitely use if the T's execute onto the bomb site. Astralis are going to throw a CT smoke, and Rain will try to preemptively throw a Hobbit smoke. This Hobbit smoke can be pretty good, as you can cross towards quad and pillar, and using this smoke, you can just try and delay for time and go for a few picks. And you can see he's going to reposition towards pillar, where the smoke could act as a bit of a visual advantage for Rain. Now I would say this is Rain's favourite position towards CT. Whenever Rain plays towards CT, he loves to do these little jiggles. By jiggling, it makes it really difficult for the opponent to hit your head. You can spot someone, fall off, and throw your util. But you can see around the 55-second mark, Rain's going to throw this Molotov, and again, this is just buying time. With this, he will peek out to see if he can catch anyone perhaps swinging out, but doesn't find anything. And when the Molotov starts to fade, he will combine this with the smoke. And this will do a pretty good job in delaying more time, as it forces Astralis to wait another 18 seconds if they want to respect the smoke. But in this round they're not going to, and they'll just push right through it. Rain will sit towards this Freiberg position, and you can see when Astralis pushes out at the same time, it's difficult for Rain to choose his kill, but unfortunately I think doesn't pick the right one. And again, against Astralis, we're going to see something similar. He's going to be jiggling for a while, until his teammate from Karrigan rotates back in, and he will rotate towards Car. Now for a bit of setups. This is the most common setup I've seen when Rain plays towards CT. In this round he's going to boost his teammate Karrigan up onto the flowers, and he's just going to jiggle as normal. He's going to do this for a while until he gets spotted. As soon as he's spotted, instant reaction is to smoke it off, to try and prevent the execute, and he will fall off behind the wall like this, so just in case Astralis were to execute, the flashbangs shouldn't be able to affect him. But once nothing comes through, he's going to try to peek out a little bit, spray through the smoke to see if he can find any damage, but unfortunately he gets most of it. And when the smoke is soon to fade, he'll use Karrigan smoke to re-smoke it. And actually later he goes back into spawn to grab Broky smoke, and you can probably guess at 40 seconds, he's gonna re-smoke Banana. Again, trying to prolong the execute. And Rain's gonna do something pretty cheeky, but I love it. Because he has an MP9, the B bomb site doesn't have that much util, and he wants to surprise them, Rain will push through when he hears the execute start. And you can see there's actually 3 members of Astralis not even looking at him. But unfortunately for him, Blame F was, and he will die. But just give time for the rotations to come in. Now once again we're going to see a similar setup. Rain's going to play towards CT, he'll spam through the smoke, and he will take cover, trying to predict the enemy's flashbangs. But once he sees the CT smoke coming in from Na'Vi, he's going to throw this flashbang to try and delay them, and will rotate coffins. Rain will just peek out, but if you wanted to, he could wait for Karrigan to get the first initial kill, and then swing out afterwards, killing the player who's trying to trade his teammate. Now lastly, let me go over the last few remaining positions. In this round, Rain is going to play the off angle on pillar. The off angle on pillar I think can be pretty nasty, as I haven't even seen it used that much. So to think a T would clear this might be a bit of an overstatement. But in a second we're going to see it being tested against a B split. But unfortunately for Rain, he will get caught trying to fight one opponent, will get the other, and then get traded. Now we're going to see a similar position used, but this time Rain is going to play in front of the pillar. Again, this serves a very similar purpose, but in this round, Na'Vi are going to execute, Rain will just get full blind, and he will die to Perfector. But you can see when Perfector runs through the smoke, his crosshair goes a bit everywhere, but will be placed towards second, where Rain is currently flashed. Now another position you could play is towards pillar. Now this position that I personally find, even just in pugs, is super annoying. As a CT, if you manage to dodge the flashbangs and get a kill, the Ts might just wait for you to peek out. And just by you being patient and baiting that you're going to peek, you're just buying time for your teammates to come in and get ready for an early retake. But unfortunately in this round, it's not going to get used. And if you are going to play towards this position, it's worth noting you can smoke off the choke point by going next to this pillar, aiming towards the left of this fountain, and left click throwing. This should serve as a very useful smoke. Now lastly, let's have a look at sandwich. In this round, Rain is going to throw his retake util towards car. With this, he'll drop down towards sandwich and get ready for this flashbang. I call this the Stewie flashbang, as it should fly right above you into the enemy's face when they try to push. But in this round, it's not going to get used, so Rain will stand in the open like this with his smoke out. And he's doing this because if Brokey got contact, he can instantly smoke it off and try and hold it, while Brokey gets himself ready. Now when watching Rain's POV, I've noticed FaZe is unreadable. Due to a lot of familiar util, it's hard to understand what the CT side is up to, or what setups they're going to play. He's unsettling, their takes can seem random to opponents, and you don't know if it's a trap, he's trying to waste time, or he's going to push through your util, forcing you to be put on edge. I've said this in my last video, but Rain is confident. To have a strong defense, you need to force the enemies to respect you, meaning he will go through smokes, go for banana/car control, or just peek. Here's a quick interview from HLTV with Rain about his playstyle, and he puts it best.
To go to top banana and peek a couple of times. I think there were some rounds where it was 5v4 and you went for an extra duel. I saw a couple of people talking about those peeks on Twitter. Is there, like, what was your perspective on that?
I stopped peeking when I want to stop peeking, right? I don't care what the people say. I think maybe it's better to over-peek than under-peek, in my opinion. If you get too passive, you're gonna end up losing the game anyways. If you keep being on the forefront and like keep pushing, you're gonna end up winning some rounds.
Apart from that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I make similar content to this on my channel, so feel free to check me out if you want to. Perhaps you want to have a good mid-round execute you can use on the B-bomb site of Ancient. Well, Liquid ran a pretty solid execute, which should be able to help you gain a few rounds. That video is exclusively on my Twitter. Apart from that, thanks for watching, see you in a bit.